Let's complete the trifecta and add a Polygon feature layer to our hosted feature service in ArcGIS Online using the ArcGIS API for Python. So open up the Add Polygon feature layer from the Add Layers and Tables folder. This time we are going to use the Feature Layer Collection Manager Add to Definition method to add a Polygon feature layer to our feature service. Up top we are importing our GIS class to access ArcGIS Online and our Feature Layer Collection class that represents a feature service in ArcGIS Online. We first access ArcGIS Online using our GIS class. We supply in the home string. We'll assign the GIS object to a variable called AGOL. We're now going to define feature layer definition for our Polygon feature layer. This is a dictionary. We're going to set the ID to 2. The type is feature layer. We'll set the name to Polygon layer for training with FDM. Our description is user created Polygon layer. The geometry type this time is Esri geometry polygon. We set the extent to be the extent of Ireland using WGS 84 and longitude and latitude coordinates. The fields property is a list. It is a list of dictionaries where each dictionary represents the properties for a field in the feature layer. We're going to define 2 fields. The first is our object ID, which is of type Esri field type OID. The second is a text field with a length of 50. We'll call it park name, and the type is Esri field type string. We need to set the object ID as a primary key in our indexes. The indexes is a list. It is a list of dictionaries where each dictionary represents an index. We give our index a name. Our fields property is the object ID field, and the description is important for clustered, unique, and primary key. Similar to our polyline feature layer, we're going to define symbology. We use the drawing info property and step into the renderer property. The type is simple, and then we define our symbol. Our type of symbol is Esri SFS, which is simple fill symbol, and our style is solid. We're going to have a solid green color with a little bit of transparency. The outline will be a darker green with no transparency, and the width of the outline will be 0.75. We set our object ID field property to be our object ID, and we want ArcGIS Online to system maintain our object ID field. So we set our unique ID field property, which is a dictionary. Display the name as our object ID, and we set is system maintained to true. Now we use our GIS object and we access the content manager and use the get method to get our feature service item as an item object. I'll paste in my feature service item ID from my notepad. We'll assign the item object return to a variable called item. We'll then use the feature layer collection class from item method to convert our item object into a feature layer collection object, which we'll assign to a variable called FLC. I'm going to create a variable called status. I'm going to set that to equal the feature layer collection object, and we're accessing the feature layer collection manager object and the add to definition method. We're going to set the JSON dictionary parameter to equal an empty dictionary to begin with. We are targeting the layers property of the feature layer collection. So we want our layers property, which is a list, and we want to add feature layer definition dictionary above to our feature service. We'll print status to screen and we'll check if the adding of our Polygon feature layer was successful or not. So let's run the script. Our script is complete. We got success true for our layers property, where the layer name Polygon layer for training with FDM with an ID of 2 was successfully added to our feature service. So let's head over to ArcGIS Online and check out the result. Here we see the current feature service with the 2 layers added previously, the point layer and the linear layer. When I refresh, we should see the Polygon layer sit under the linear layer. I'll refresh now. We can see our Polygon layer for training with FDM has been added, and it has a sub layer of 2. If I click into our Polygon layer, you can see the summary and acknowledgements are empty, but the description has been added from our feature layer definition. I incorrectly said that this wasn't added in the previous two videos. The description has been added. By default, enable attachments is disabled. If I click into data, we have our park name field, and we have shape underscore underscore area and shape underscore underscore length that our system maintained with ArcGIS Online. And if I click column visibility, we can see the object ID field is also present, and we currently have no features in our Polygon feature layer as of yet. If I click into the visualization tab, on the left hand side we can see the lighter green fill with a darker green outline as we set out in the feature layer definition when creating this feature layer. So we've successfully added a Polygon feature layer to our hosted feature service in ArcGIS Online using the ArcGIS API for Python. Make sure to continue on to the next video in this series, and also make sure to subscribe. Take care.